We're free citizens, not subjects. A few years ago, a friend and fellow Christian made that statement to a Brit to explain why we had such starkly different viewpoints. I've forgotten the specific issue, but his answer was spot on. As American citizens, we're born and raised in a constitutional republic, under a constitution designed to limit the power of the government and maximize the power and freedom of the individual citizen. Our Brit friend was born and raised under a constitutional monarchy, wherein the individual citizen is a subject of the crown. One of our more challenging Sunday's struggles is balancing our concept of American freedom with biblical submission. On the one hand, the biblical concept of church leadership is the opposite of the typical worldview of top-down authoritarianism. The individual Christian is not a subject of the church and its representatives. When the apostles argued over who would be in charge in the Lord's kingdom, Jesus rejected the concept entirely. In his kingdom, leadership is through service, not lordship. You know that those who are recognized as rulers of the Gentiles domineer over them, and their people in high position exercise authority over them. But it is not this way among you. Rather, whoever wants to become prominent among you shall be your servant, and whoever wants to be first among you shall be slave of all. Mark 10, verses 42 through 44. Decades later, Peter added, "Therefore I urge elders among you, shepherd the flock of God among you, exercising oversight, not under compulsion, but voluntarily, according to the will of God, and not with greed, but with eagerness, nor yet as domineering over those assigned to your care, but by proving to be examples to the flock." 1 Peter 5, verses 1 through 4. But on the other hand, individual Christians are told to submit to their leaders. Obey your leaders and submit to them, for they keep watch over your souls as those who will give an account, so that they may do this with joy, not groaning, for this would be unhelpful for you. Hebrews 13, verse 17. Well, how do we balance those? Simple. Learn to lead by submission. One does not need to be an appointed leader to lead by example. Asserting our own autonomy and insisting on our freedom in Christ, or as Americans, to argue with each other and with our appointed leaders over anything and everything we don't like, isn't the biblical pattern. No, we're not subjects of our appointed leaders, but we are subjects of Christ. So let's act like the king and learn to say, "Not my will." Luke 22, verse 42. And yes, I must confess, writing this last paragraph was difficult because I struggle with submission. May God grant me the grace to follow the example of his Son. Thank you for watching today's Sunday Struggles on Morning Minutes in the Bible. Until next time, this is James McClenny, hoping you have a great day.